Hi everyone, Terry here from nutsaboutsstamping.com. I'm back today with another Sundays with Sizzix project. I'm going to create a card to send to my son this week using the now available Blended Season stamp set. This is a clear mount stamp set. It also comes in wood mount. It's a set of 2, and as you can see, it is called Blended Seasons for a reason, because it's got several seasonal ideas in one easy stamp set pack. So I'm going to create a fall themed card for my son using these leaves and the I just miss you phrase. My card base is going to be Old Olive. I've cut it 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at the 4 1/4 mark, and my card is going to be a landscape layout. To that, I'm going to add a layer of basic black. And then I'm going to add another layer on top, and this layer is going to be Whisper White. I'm going to set this aside for a second though, because I'm going to do some really neat things with this Whisper White layer. I've got the leaf stamp, as I've already mentioned, and what I'm going to do is create a heat emboss image on the Whisper White. So I've got my Versamark ink. I'm going to ink up this stamp. When you have a stamp that's really large, instead of trying to do it this way to ensure that you've got ink coverage, do it this way. So I'm going to stamp this down. Now you won't be able to see it very clearly on the camera image, but you will in a second. So what I'm going to do is bring in this little tray. I'm going to put in my stamped image, and I'm going to sprinkle on top some copper embossing powder. So this embossing powder is really cool. It's going to create a beautiful shine, and I'll just shake off the rest of it like so. I'm going to set this tray aside for now. Now what I'm going to do is bring, excuse me, I'm going to bring in our heat tool, and I'm going to heat the embossing powder. And what happens is the embossing powder will melt and it'll create a gorgeous shine. So my plug-in is too far away from my stamping table. So I'm going to step away, I'm going to heat emboss it. I'll be back in a minute and I'll show you what it looks like. I'm back and I have it all heat embossed. I'm not sure that the light will catch this very well for you, but if you can see it, you'll notice that there's this beautiful coppery shine now. Now, one of the reasons that I love heat embossing for the fall and winter is because to me it's more seasonal to have this shine, but it's also perfect if you want to use your watercolor pencils or blender pens or Stampin Blends to color, because it helps keep the color inside the lines. So I've chosen my Old Olive, my Pumpkin Pie, and my Crumb Cake Stampin Blends, and I'm going to color these images, and then I'm going to move on to my next steps. All right, there we go. I have my leaves all colored and I'm ready for my next step, which is to add a phrase. So I have a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock. I have the I Miss You stamp, and I'm going to use Pumpkin Pie, and I'm going to ink up the phrase, stamp it in the middle, and then I'm going to use my Layering Ovals framelits. I've got a framelit that fits around this phrase, and I'm going to bring in my Big Shot. I'm going to use the layers that is the magnetic platform, the bottom standard cutting pad. I've got my cardstock that's stamped, and I'm going to put the oval around it, like so. Top standard cutting pad. Hold it down. Oh, it slipped a little bit. It looks good. Hold it down in place and run it through the Big Shot. Okay, there's my phrase layer. And I am ready to assemble my card. I'm going to flip this over, add some snail adhesive on the back, and adhere this to the front of my card, like so. And I have a little bit of a smudge from the ink, so no worries. That's what this phrase will be perfect for. I'm going to pick up a couple of mini Stampin Dimensionals. I love these. You get so many in a pack, and they're perfect for smaller images that you want to pop up. And I'm going to cover up my smear by adding my phrase here. And then when I was off embossing, heat embossing this, the leaves layer, I decided to stamp and emboss and color one additional leaf because I thought it would be fun just to add a singular leaf at the top. I was going to put it at the bottom, but when I have a smear, it's good to do it to cover it up. So I'm going to add this final leaf on a little bit of an angle, like so. And now my card is complete and ready to mail to my son this week. For a complete listing of the supplies that I used and the measurements for all of the layers, please head to my blog, www.nutsaboutstamping.com. While you're on my blog, make sure you're a newsletter subscriber. I send a free newsletter every week with a project idea you won't see anywhere else. I also have a Shop Now button on my blog in case you decide that you would like to place an order for the products I use to make this card. If you would like to learn how to heat emboss, please leave a comment in the comment section under this video, and I'll do a special video showing you how to heat emboss. I'm Terry, I'm Nuts About Stamping. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.